I'm your host, Samantha Ramphal, and we're here at Casino Lac Limy in Hull, Quebec for the 11th season of Ottawa Fashion Week. Tonight, we will be checking out some amazing non-local and local designers showcasing their Fall-Winter 2014 collections. Now let's head over to Megan and see who she's talking to. Megan?
Hey, I'm Megan Evans coming to you from right outside the VIP area at Ottawa Fashion Week. I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to be talking to all of the amazing people that make this event possible. But right now, we're going to go check out what Melissa has going on backstage.
Hello everyone, I'm Melissa LeDuc and I'm going to be your backstage host where all the hair, makeup, and fun takes place before the models strut their stuff down the runway.
But I don't hear, no, I don't hear you anymore. I know I had to look hard to find this, and everything is wrong.
I'm Alana Cladd and I was showcasing my Fall-Winter 2014 first collection. The whole basis and foundation behind CLAT is to provide career-oriented women with transitional pieces from works of play. And the foundation is to, each season is to make them out of 100% knit fabrications, luxurious knit fabrications. And the cause of that is because I want my women to feel in style, but super comfortable as well. So everything is knit, everything is very comfortable, you know. So that's kind of the foundation and where my mind is at when I think about my brand, and that's what I want to convey. Really just to enhance the natural beauty of my customers already from inside and out. At the moment, I'm in the Kawartha store, which is in Fenelon Falls, a very trendy tourist town in the summer. Great shop. They're all about Canadian made, great local shop.
I can see stars, I can see lights, and I swear they're shining here. I can see stars, yeah, I can see lights shining here. Think about us anymore. I said, think about us anymore. I said, think about this There's nothing I want
We're here with Sid Kratzberg, aristocrat of scent and fashion guru. Thank you very much.
Hello, gorgeous. How are you?
I'm glad to see you again.
Nice
I was
to
waiting
See
to
you, Sam. Nice to see you, Samantha. It's been a good show so far.
It's been a good show, very busy, a
Yeah.
lot of people here, surprisingly.
Surprisingly, great show, great fashions. You know, I'm the old guy, but I still like to look at hot fashions, right?
So who was your favorite today?
I have to say, everybody's good, but I love the aspect of a little older models. Amelia's show with gentlemen that are a little more mature, but I love her styling. It's classic, but it has that little edge, and I love fashion that's wearable.
Did you see yesterday's show?
No, I unfortunately could not attend,
Okay, so you have a lot of catching up to do.
but I've
On
seen
what-
pictures.
And what did you think?
DDG, drop dead gorgeous. The Arucci, what a collection.
Amazing.
And then when you have people like Helena walking the runway, OMG, right?
It was beautiful. So what are you most excited for tonight, other than the beautiful fashion and
Just
everybody
the
there?
buzz. Doing work, of course, for the Ottawa Citizen Style magazine. So catching some fashionistas tonight, right?
Yes,
And
there's
then
a lot.
just dancing, feeling the vibe. Fashion vibe.
Amelia, who just finished their show. How do you guys feel?
After the fashion show, yes, it's a big relief. It's good.
So can you tell us a little bit about this collection that we just looked at?
Well, we call it tessellation, and it means putting together pieces to come up with a bigger design that is unique and by itself stands out and one of a kind. So each of the pieces, if you look, they were all different. None of them are the same, and you cannot find them anywhere else. They were all unique and one of a kind. Original.
And have you seen any type of evolution throughout Ottawa Fashion Week? Has it grown a lot since your first year?
Definitely, and this is a beautiful venue, so it helps to bring the crowd in.
And now I'm here with Melanie Duquette and Rachel Ingram. Ladies, tell me, it's crazy back here. It takes the two of you to make sure that this all goes seamlessly so that the show can go on. What does that involve?
Go ahead.
Okay, well, actually, we both have very large, hardworking teams behind us, so I can't say that we can take all the credit. Definitely a strong team is what can help put everything here back together. She helps manage backstage, which essentially is everything you see here behind us. I do model coordination, so I'm sure you can understand without models or without a backstage, we don't have a front show. So I don't know, Mel, you want to talk a bit about backstage?
Sure. Well, we start on site a day before the actual event. Typically, we're the first here and we're the last here. So from early in the morning on the first day, setting everything up. We have castings in the morning. We have rehearsals and fittings in the afternoon. Obviously, show as well. If we're on time, which we aim to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, ladies. We're going to do a bit of a tour, but we'll be back to see you. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
amazing show. You have some beautiful creations. Now, first I gotta ask, how did you get started in designing? What made you want to be a designer?
I wanted to be a designer since I was very young, so I was wearing snowman sketch with a princess gown and everything. So at age 10, I decided, oh my God, I like it. I like to see in this world to create something that everybody can wear. So since I was 10, I said, okay, I want to go in. That's my dream. After I decided to go to campus Notre-Dame-de-Croix, they are fashion designer. So I just finished my program this December.
amazing show. I loved your design. So what was the inspiration behind the collection?
My inspiration is woman for the closet. I want to complete all the closet what can be seen every day in the woman for like a casual look or for dressy or for coat.
Yeah, I could actually see myself wearing all your pieces. They were beautiful. So what's the inspiration behind the name? Where did you come up with that?
The name, I find it from my friends. I find it's a very nice name. And Nike, that's mean that's a hope in Indian. And happiness in Creek. That's why this came from the name.
here with Elena Jones from Locoquina. Elena, tell me a little bit about your line tonight.
Well, the inspiration came from many different places, really, and I tried putting it together. One of the repetitive elements was Japanese national costume, male costume. Another repetitive element was Georgian jacket, which I absolutely love the period.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to do something strict, something minimalistic, but diluted with the glitter of gold.
We are here with Demetrius from Demetrius
Management Group.
Demetrius Management Group. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So you have a big part. You manage 2 designers in this week's show.
Absolutely. Later on tonight, actually at the APM block, Ottawa Fashion House and Canon Designs from Toronto will be showcasing their new collections for fall and winter.
So as a manager, you know a lot about the line. Can you give us some in-depth detail about the
Absolutely. This is about Oku's 11th season making collections, cut and sew, and they've made just an unbelievable name for themselves with, incorporating high couture, fashions that look crazy on the runway, but it's also ready to wear. And they also have this uncanny ability of making it very street as well. They're all from Toronto, 3 great guys from Africa. So their collection is called Wheels of Fire, and there's going to be a lot of camo, a lot of polyester, and I think the most beautiful drop-dead gorgeous thing that they have is the red leather.
I did see it earlier in
Yes,
rehearsal, and
yeah.
I fell in love.
Yeah.
And do you have a favorite piece?
Actually, my favorite piece is from the Kenya collection. It's an unbelievable trench coat that, as its own, is very businesslike, and you go to work with it if you work, in the financial district. But when you turn it, it's reversible. The lining is impeccable. When you turn it around, it has some crazy unique lining in there that if you're ready to go from work to a happy hour with your colleagues, it looks super fashionable and it looks like you're walking on the runway on the street.
And these designers have a lot of buzz that have been created about them. Why is that?
It's just the whole aesthetic and quality of their clothing. Their celebrity clientele list is just, it's crazy that they've worked with Drake, Chris Brown, one of the main actors from The Big Bang Theory, Airplane Boy, Sean Desmond wore their stuff on the MMVA red carpet. Wonder Girl, the 17-year-old producer from Toronto that did one of Jay-Z's songs, wore one of their things at the Grammys this past weekend. So, and the list goes on and on and on. It's way too much to remember. So I really think it's just the connection that they had growing up in Toronto. It's really cool to see young guys really make a name for themselves in the fashion industry, and people really feel for that. And their clothes just has a crazy aesthetic that even people here at Ottawa Fashion Week just fall in love with. It's something totally different.
That's definitely true. So, as their manager, you know what's next for them. Can you tell us a little bit?
I can tell you a little bit. Last season here at Ottawa Fashion Week, they built an incredible buzz for them. They were on CTV and Ruby TFO, and they had a couple people here from New Zealand Fashion Week that invited them out for their Spring Summer 15 New Zealand Fashion Week, which is happening this upcoming September. They also have a buyer in Berlin that wants to bring them out, not only into their store, but into Berlin Fashion Week as well. So those are some cool things happening in a bunch of different continents. And then, of course, always just trying to build in Ontario, trying to build where we're from, in Toronto, into Ottawa, and eventually go over the border to New York City.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Okay.
We're here with Godfrey Mensa from Kenya Designs. Now, first of all, I have to ask, where did you come up with the name?
Well, the name was inspired from my daughter. Her name is Kenya, but I also wanted to create something that was cultured, so I broke up the name Kenya into two words, which is Kenya and Ya, which I created a word called Stay Young, Be Fly. So the garments are very young, they're very playful, they have symbolic meanings in them. Yeah, I just wanted to go with something that was very young and had very cool meanings in them.
So how did you get into designing?
I started designing in 2008 when I opened up the brand called Boku with a few friends. And then last year, 2013, one day I was on home on Instagram just looking through designs, and Eureka just popped in my head to create a brand called Kenya and work on vintage pieces and bring them and make them brand new.
So I know I loved a lot of your pieces. What are your favorite from your collection?
My favorite piece is probably my M1 jacket, which is it's like a collage of different leathers. If you're close up, you can see that each one has been patched differently. And also the trench jacket, because you can wear reversibly. On the inside, you have the blue that looks like it's water with the lining, and then on the outside, you have the kente fabric, because I'm African, I'm from Ghana. So I wanted to keep my tradition and also utilize creativity on the inside.
all good friends? How long have you guys known each other?
We knew each other like all our lives, basically. We grew up from when we were a kid, and I guess we grew to love fashion, and that's how we bonded more, because we all have something in common, right?
So what piece means the most to you?
Our denim jeans that we have for all the girls, because each one of the jeans has patches on them that have a another symbolic meaning, you could say, to each piece. There's please on it, there's help on it, there's the United States on it, we have a circle of love on it, we have dancing. Like each piece, pretty much, we want the person who's gonna embody the clothing to actually accept it and feel the energy and feel the power that's within the clothing. So it's a lot about feeling good about yourself when you're wearing these pieces, and that's why we call the collection Wheels of Fire, because we wanted people to feel like when they were wearing these clothes that they were on fire, that they felt good about themselves. So that's the name of the collection, and that's why it's called Wheels of Fire.
We're here with special guest Derek Fage, host of Ottawa's Rogers TV, Ottawa's Morning Live, correct?
Daytime Ottawa, name of the show, and this is my first. I know you're not gonna believe me. This is my first Ottawa Fashion Week, and I've been getting in a lot of trouble with a lot of people. The fact that this is my first.
Yes. So, is it everything that you expected?
It is, as a matter of fact. Well, and I know so many people in the fashion world in Ottawa. They've been on the show so many times, and I almost feel guilty that that this is my first. But honestly, it has nothing to do with the fact I didn't want to come, just scheduling.
Okay.
Right?
So then we'll forgive you this time.
Thank you very much. But it's been spectacular. The fashions that we saw, we've seen the first runway shows so far tonight, and they've been absolutely amazing. And the thing I like most about it is, it's actually fashions I can see people wearing. You know, oftentimes, I know you probably think the same thing. You look at it, you go, okay, that's nice, but I would never wear that out in public. And these are fashions you can do that with.
And I've noticed that with Ottawa especially, is that we have more so a conservative, edgy, but very conservative, and it can be worn either out to a club or to the office and still look great. So that is very true about Ottawa's Fashion Week. Can you tell me, who are you most excited to see today?
That's a tough question. Probably my wife. My wife is actually a former model, so she used to do some modeling. So I'd love to see her on the runway. But I don't have any necessarily favorites when it comes to fashion. I think you dress with how you feel, and it's all a matter of taste. I don't have any favorites necessarily. I mean, obviously, I like to support local. So anyone that's local here, I'll support over and above anybody else.
Yeah, we all, I find everybody that we've talked to today, they said they're rooting for the locals, which is true.
Yeah.
But the locals did stand out a lot today, and they did a very good job of just showing fashion in Ottawa, I find. You know, they did a very good job of showing what we represent here in Ottawa for fashion, so definitely true.
I agree, and I hate to pretend that I know all of these people that are here. I'm being introduced to a lot of people, designers that I've never heard of before, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's the reason people should come, and people are intimidated by fashion. There was a time in my life I was intimidated by fashion as well, but you know, eventually you sort of start picking up on it, and you find out what you feel comfortable with, and you take advice from people. I take advice from, you know, Bruno, who obviously the artistic director. I look at what he wears, and that, you know, that makes a reflection on maybe something I might choose for myself for Ottawa Fashion Week. My wife and I love shopping together, so we do fashion shows for each other when we go out shopping. So whatever looks good and whatever we agree on, that's what I end up wearing.
Well, thank you very much. It was very nice seeing you, and I hope you enjoy your first fashion week. It's not going to be your only, though.
No, it won't be my last.
Yes, I will see you next season and the season after.
Absolutely.
So I'm here with Lori and James from Bernice and Barclay. Now that was a beautiful show. First of all, where did you guys come up with the name? You want to take this one?
Sure. Actually, Bernice and Barclay derives from our middle names, so it would be Lori and Bernice Potter, and it would be Jameson Barclay Nesbitt. So, yeah, we decided like the B&B sounded great together, so that's where we went with that.
It really does. So where was your inspiration coming from for this collection?
For this collection, we decided to sort of go with a European spy girl theme. So we took some elements of like sort of a 70s look, but we also just kept it sort of light and flowy with the different flower patterns and stuff like that. So I would say sort of like spy girlish, Bond girls.
I'm here with Angie Seymour of Angie's Model Management. Now, can you tell us about your agency?
I've been around for 23 years and still going strong. We just opened in Toronto. Yeah, so we're doing quite well.
And you started in Ottawa or in Hull?
We started in Cornwall, Ontario, and that's where I discovered little Ryan Gosling at 9 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
Where he is today.
Jeez, that's incredible. So what do you think of the show so far this year?
They're amazing. The talent, the designers, and of course the models. Totally incredible.
We're here with Nora Pucci from Zerucci. Now first I gotta ask, how did you come up with the name?
Well, my name is Nora Zabara Pucci. Zabara is my maiden name, and Pucci is my married name, so I combined them together, and it was Zerucci.
Yeah, that makes so much more sense now. So your collection is beautiful. Can I ask you how you started designing?
I started designing, it was last season, and the reason why I decided to design is because I wanted to start my own business, and I loved fashion more than anything.
So I'm here with Lois Lee from CTV Morning Live. Hello, Lois. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're thrilled. As Algonquin and TV students, I think we're kind of excited to speak to somebody who's in our field. That being said, what I want to know, Lois, is who are you here to see today?
So many designers. Zerucci just did her show, so Nora of Zerucci, and it's always an amazing show. Last year, I believe, was her debut collection, and this year, the collection was even better. It was all about lace and what you could do with lace. There's also Beaucoup, there's DUI on Sunday, there's Jonna Amelia, Prophetic tonight as well from the States. There's so many different designers, too many to name, like Saku Saku, who's also from Ottawa. So a lot of great talent here.
Absolutely. We're pumped. Are you here for the weekend to check it all out?
I'll be here every single day, all weekend. And I'm actually going to be walking in the charity show. So it's for the gala that's happening on Saturday night. I'll be wearing Tadashi Soji, which is a designer out of New York. And Elena Henke is also presenting that night as well. And she's just a beautiful couturier. So that's going to be an exciting collection to watch.
That is going to be exciting. I love Elena Henke, so I'm looking forward to that myself. Well, thank you so much. And I hear you're a guest of honor tonight. That's kind of exciting.
Well, you know what? I think every single year, Ottawa Fashion Week grows more and more, and it just brings the level of fashion and excitement even higher every year. And so it's exciting to be here, and it's exciting to be part of something that is really groundbreaking in many ways.
I couldn't agree more. Having returning faces is very positive.
We're here with Celine Brito from Sabrito. So how did you get into designing? What was your inspiration behind that?
I always wanted to be a designer. Since I'm 10 years old, I wanted to do that. I always sketching, I always sew. So it's like a dream come true. I always wanted to do it. It is in my soul, so I need to do that. And it's a part of creativity where I come from. I'm from the Acadie, so Acadie is the people that are very creative, so this is describe me well, part of my life.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
how did you feel about the show tonight?
Fantastic.
Loved it?
Enjoyed it. Loved it.
So when did you start designing? How did you come to love that?
I started designing probably about 15 years ago, and then I was a teacher at Richard Robinson, and then about 8 years ago I opened up my own studio.
Now, where was your inspiration from this particular collection?
My inspiration came from a lot of fabrics that my suppliers have brought me. So I decided to do a lot of silvers, a lot of blacks. I wanted something in a way very shiny and a little futuristic at the same time.
It does look a little futuristic. Now we have our makeup and hair artist as well, Sylvie. You have to tell us, what is the inspiration behind the hair and the makeup on these lovely ladies tonight?
Well, when Frank showed me the collection, I really got that that cool kind of silvers and black colors, and we had talked about where his inspiration came from. So definitely futuristic, a little on the cool, icy side. So we always go a little bit pushing the envelope with Frank's collection.
At the same time too, I mean, I let Sylvie do, and I let Leslie Ann do whatever they wanted to do. And hey, that's the result. It's a collaboration of everybody, really.
And it absolutely turned out amazing. Now, can you tell us about these designs that these girls are wearing?
Right, this one is done out of a silk. It's a brocade, and the collar itself is all the same fabric but all shredded. And on Alexis, we have the sequins pants and a little lace top and a nice ostrich feather jacket. On Jonna, netting skirt, keeping into the silver theme, little bustier with some detail of re-embroidered flowers. And then we have Rachel that's wearing a sheer blouse and just black pants. But it's just the detailing alone, the big sleeves on this one.
So I'm here with Kelsey McIntyre from Serendipity. Kelsey, that was a beautiful show. Can I ask you where you got the name Serendipity from?
The name Serendipity was somebody had actually just suggested the name when I started out making the collection, and it became serendipitous. It actually means finding something good when you're not looking for it, and so it just fit. The word serendipity was exactly that. It was serendipitous.
Yeah, so the music and the beautiful faces and everything, what was your inspiration behind that?
Well, this collection is entitled Modern Fairy Tale. So the collection comes from the Brothers Grimm fairy tales and a little bit of the Russian and different Eastern European cultures that have amazing fairy tales. And so that was the initial inspiration. And then I love all things romantic and girly, so that got thrown in there as well.
That's perfect. So how did you get started in design?
I've been designing ever since I knew what designing was. So it was at 13, though, that I really realized that, oh, this could actually be a career. People make money after doing this. They do this for a living. And from there, I went to school for it. And then my first love is doing wedding dresses. So I always include a wedding dress in my collections. And yeah.
And it was beautiful. Can you tell us about the pieces that we have here?
Sure. So we've got the wrap dress here on the end. I tend to do a wrap dress a season. It's a signature of mine. Everybody loves wearing a wrap dress. They're so comfortable. So this one's using our beautiful floral print for fall, showing that you can wear flowers in the winter and dress up our dreary Canadian winters. And then it's tied with a silk ribbon, because a little touch of silk. Girl doesn't like a little bit of silk on her dress. And then our wedding dress, our finale dress here in the center. This one actually was inspired by the fabric. So I found the fabric first, and then that kind of informed what I created. And yeah, it's got a beautiful illusion neckline, and then in the back it's completely backless as well.
So I'm here with Jeff Garner from Prophetic. Now, Jeff, that was an amazing show. Some beautiful designs, as you can see. So what was your favorite part of the show?
Tonight, you know, the classical cello music when he was just building it, and then the gowns came out, especially with the feathers behind you. It was just like a magical goosebump kind of moment. And all the girls looked beautiful. The hair, makeup, it just flowed. It was nice. Yeah.
It really was so beautiful. So let me ask you, how did you get started in design?
Well, about 6 years old, I stole my sister's Barbie sketch pad, and that's where I began. So I started doing that. I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee. All these music guys wanted to be in their band. I said, no way, but I'll dress you. That's kind of how it began. So, yeah.
And where did you get the name?
Prophetic, you know, I simply wanted, you know, fashion's such a fickle business. I wanted something a little bit more in-depth, soulful. I wanted to connect so that people would ask that very question, because what we do is all sustainable. So all the fabrications, all the natural dyes made of plants and earth-based and that kind of thing. So I want to showcase it can still be art, still be made of the earth, and still be beautiful.
And it definitely is beautiful. So can you take us through some of your pieces?
Sure, absolutely. So this is kind of an origami. This is silk I did. I just kind of basket weaved it together. Again, more silk. And it's got it's a piece silk, so it has a raw edge to it. So actually the the worm's not, you know, killed during the process. And then this here is ostrich feather with hemp and silk blend. So this is the ostrich feather dress. And these are actually, you know, peacock feathers. And a friend of mine that has a farm gave them to me. I said, I'd love to use these. So I just kind of did my thing, and here you go. But I gotta admit, this thing's been all around the world. I travel with it. I have to carry it on the plane. It doesn't bend. And so I'm like, yeah, it's my wedding dress. And they look at me like, really? I'm like, do you want me to put it on? So I'm able to get it all around. That's why it's got little cracks here and there. But there you have it. So.
But it's still very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
that I never did. Freaking perfect and 5'10", just wanna punch your lip. Yeah, 'cause I know I've been wasting time trying to catch your eye. Yeah, I know that I've been so blind, thinking that I'm your type. And now I'm at home, I'm all alone, about to pick up the telephone. Got to call my genie so he knows. Yeah, I wish I was smart, I wish I was fast. Wish I could shop with a bag full of cash. 'Cause if I want you, I gotta have that. Kiss me, boy. I wish I had style, I wish I had flash. Wish I woke up with a butt and a rack. 'Cause if I want you, I gotta have that. Kiss me, boy. Yeah, baby, I'm gonna keep it real, boy. Yeah, the one I want. I don't own any 5-inch heels, just got my Nikes on. Yeah, never thought I was insecure, but look how what you done. I don't know what I studied for, clearly I like I'm dumb. And now I'm at home, I'm all alone, about to pick up the telephone. Got to call my genie so he knows. Yeah, I wish I was smart, I wish I was fast. Wish I could shop with a bag full of cash. 'Cause if I want you, I gotta have that. Kiss me, boy. I wish I had style, I wish I had flash. Wish I woke up with a butt and a rack. 'Cause if I want you, I gotta have that.
Hey, now don't you wanna do something, baby, with the roof gone, baby? Aston Martin look retarded like the crew gone crazy. I'm not sure what kind of fella you like, but I can give you paradise, have it however you like. I'm talking solitaire, iced out ring watch necklace. Ain't no talking reckless, girl, I'm certified, respect it, girl. You like to run your mouth when you about to learn a lesson, girl. Yeah, you the one, but I replace you in a second, girl. And I ain't even trying to see you naked, girl, wait. There I go exaggerate, clearly carried away, but what I'm saying, you can true that. I wanna be wherever you at, so you wishing you could kiss me, do you really wanna do that? Make a wish, girl.
I wish I was smart, I wish I was fast. Wish I could shop with a bag full of cash. 'Cause if I want you, I gotta have that. Yeah, I wish I had style, I wish I had flash. Wish I woke up with a butt and a rack. 'Cause if I want you, I gotta have that. Kiss me, I wish I was smart. 'Cause if I want you, I gotta have that. Kiss me, boy. I wish I had, I wish I had, I wish I had, yeah, yeah. 'Cause if I want you, I gotta have that. Kiss me, boy. Oh, you broke my heart. I told you I was weak for love, but then you went around and did what you wanted to do, and now I'm crying, crying. Ooh, seemed like everything was going fine. I found a love that I thought was gonna last. Then I accidentally saw a few things in yourself. I even LOL'd, man, I should've known. Why you do what you do? You might as well just tell the honest truth. See, I'm not really down with this. This ain't a texting No, I got no biz, but it is what it is. I don't really have much to say. I was over in a second that I saw it. I got two letters for you. One of them's left and the other one's you. 'Cause what you gotta do is go get yourself a clue. Only two letters to choose. One of them's left and the other one's you. SMH, I'll press the sin on you.
Could've been this, could've been that. We done been there, we done been back. You ain't with it, could've said that. Why you tripping? Let me hit that. I ain't tryna argue on my